Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for our question and answer video. We just finished up our Life on the Heart, a little bit behind the scenes, and although we tried to incorporate some questions that all of you had asked through our previous YouTube video, Facebook, personal emails, which we all appreciate your input and queries, we couldn't fit all of it in there, so now we're doing an additional video where we're taking more questions, and we still apologize if we didn't get all of them, but these were the most commonly asked ones. Life on the Heart and the refit, the boat itself, and then just general future travel. So
it's hot in Florida.
It's
just
hot.
So you know.
It's like 93 degrees out right now.
Yeah, it's gotten really, really warm again. Air conditioner's running. As you can see, we put a tarp up over top to help
yes,
with.
Our beautiful background here.
Isn't that nice? Yeah,
tarp.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to start out with just the easiest general. What is the cost? If you saw in the previous video, not the cost of everything, the cost of living on the Heart.
Oh, I don't know. $600 a month we spend for the yard.
That includes electricity.
Yep.
Trash.
Yep.
Wi-Fi for now.
Wi-Fi for now. When it's available.
Yes.
Yes. That's $600 a month.
And this isn't, well, I know it's kind of popular in Europe, and I heard some places in Florida have started to do it. No, they don't charge you for showers. So luckily those are free. Laundry is about $3.50 a load, wash and dry, so actually not too bad. So,
and since we're dirty people and working in a yard all day long, typically it's once a month for laundry. So
we like to wear our outfits 6 days in a row before washing them or changing it.
Yeah,
really.
If they can stand up on their own, or yeah.
Then it's time to change.
Then it's time to change.
Kind of going along with the bathrooms, why don't you put in a composting head instead of having to run to the bathroom? That is in the works. It's just not done yet. Yeah,
the head has become storage, one of the storage areas for us. It's actually just full of wood, and it previously had the radar and stuff in it.
Just kind of like general,
yes.
Every toiletry, every
So we made
chips,
the composting
food.
Head, most of it, we just haven't done the final little details. And quite frankly, I mean, it's typically not a huge issue for us to run to the bathroom.
No.
Luckily, we're still at that age where we don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So
give it another 5 years.
Yep, one benefit of youth, or mid-age youth, I guess. Yeah.
Let's see. While you're living on the Heart, what is your diet and food budget, and do you take advantage of fresh vegetables? I try and use vegetables maybe once a week.
No.
We have sides of green beans or corn.
No, but you add it to... Like,
okay, and pastas.
There's everything. Everything that we have pretty much has some type of vegetable in it. Typically green peppers, onions, those types of things.
Yeah, we do lots of pastas and Asian dishes.
Yeah,
onions,
stir-fry,
broccoli, chicken, carrots, green peppers, and I do lots of pasta dishes with my own homemade sauce.
Yeah, but we don't often have a like green bean side or something like that. Not
the
too
last
often.
video is about the only time that's ever happened. You actually just cut it on camera.
Yes, but
not usually just as a side, but incorporated. But just our diet overall, I'd say we spend $75 a week on food. Kind of incorporates just some regular toiletries too, so I can't say what is all food and what's not. But our diet, I'd say mornings we do a tostada with like peanut butter and banana. Lunch is always a sandwich with potato chips on the side, and then dinner can be anything from like burgers to pasta, lots of chicken, made tacos, love tacos. So that's basically what our diet is. It is nicer now having so many stores like Aldi and Walmart at our fingertips where I can just go and get whatever I need and plan out my meals. And yes, and have lettuce.
Actual real lettuce.
And I don't have to worry about what takes importance because of what we can stock, because I only need to stock up for 1 week at a time.
Yeah, it's nice having transportation.
Yep.
Oh, back to the cost thing. If you've been to our website, you'll see that we've done year-to-year costs previously.
Cost of cruising.
Cost of cruising. Now, obviously, we're not cruising right now, so we haven't done that. We started to, when we started refitting this boat, we started for the first probably week. I was keeping a spreadsheet of everything, and after about a week, it was already depressing as to how much money we were spending. So I've ignored it. Purposely ignored it. Now we do have our credit card statements and so on, because we charge everything onto the card and so on. But so I can go through that and itemize it eventually, and maybe I will do that. But until we get back cruising, we're probably not going to have that information.
No.
We'll have a general idea as to how much money we've spent on the boat refitting, but up until that point, we don't know yet.
Are you okay saying what we bought the boat for?
Yeah. I mean, we bought the boat for 20 grand. Paid 25,000 too much for it, and we've put a ton into it.
A ton. We're just about broke now.
We are broke now.
Yeah.
We've. This is gonna get longer, but
I can edit.
yeah. When we were trying to figure out if we wanted to keep the Sabre or go with this.
Oh, it's actually a future question.
Oh.
Would you do it again?
Would I do it again? Ask me when we're on the water.
Do you regret selling your boat? It was the first part, and after having spent 2 years here, I think I may have mentioned in previous comments and answered like why did you spend 2 years refitting a boat when you could have worked jobs, saved money, and purchased a better boat? We did not know it was going to take this long. We thought it was going to be about 9 months between the two of us.
9 months or a year. I kept telling her 9 months just to get her on board, but I knew in my heart that it was going to be a year.
But we did not expect 2 years.
No, we didn't expect it.
So would we do it again, knowing that it was going to take us 2 years and all this extra money that we were not expecting?
No.
I would.
Good. That's a nice positive attitude. I would not.
I love what this boat's going to
Yeah.
be. It's the
what I would do if I were able to do it again. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do.
I think when we get in the water
Yeah.
and we have this beautiful boat, we can be like, man, that sucked, but I'm so happy I'm here now.
Yeah, and poor.
And poor.
Yeah, I'm poor.
Please support us on Patreon.
But just trying to figure out if it made sense or not to do this. If this was something that we were going to do for another 3 years or something like that, then no, definitely wouldn't have been worth it. If we had it set in our mind that this is going to be a 7-year journey, and after that we were going to stop and go back to land life, then definitely these 2 years would not have been worth it at all. But with the intent that we have of continuing this for
I think we have at least a 5-year plan out there set.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, another 10 years, 15, 20, who knows. I don't think it was as bad. And as we've said before, this was one of those experiences I wanted to have. I wanted to refit a boat, not to this extent, but I wanted to go through and refit a boat. So this, regardless,
it was an experience.
It was an experience, and we would be. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't this boat, we would be doing it on a different boat by now. Just because of the fact, again, we wanted to try this. We wanted to see what this is like. Now that we know, we won't do it again for at least a little while.
Yes. No, what is it our friend said? I'm glad I've done it once.
Yeah.
I don't ever plan to do it again.
Yeah. Not this. Next time, a new hull, and then do the interior and that kind of stuff.
We don't need to bring back a dead boat.
I will not do it again on a neglected boat.
No.
Just as too much time fixing issues that shouldn't have been.
Why Florida for your refit? It was because this is where our boat was when we bought it. It actually, until maybe 2 months ago, wasn't fit to be in the water.
What it was is when we bought the boat, it was in Indian Town. We originally looked into having it shipped further north, so we could work on it in a climate that I can live in. I don't like the heat. But when we looked at what the cost was going to be to ship it, the time involved to ship it north, in the fact we thought it was going to be a fairly short refit, we just didn't think that it made sense to do it. So we decided to start doing it here. Once we dug into it a little bit, and we were probably a month into it, we realized that no, we probably should have sent it north. Ever since then, I've been kicking myself for sitting here because, again, I am
I think we
probably half my time was spent trying to recoup from the heat.
I think we would have worked a lot faster had we been somewhere else.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'd work so much better in a climate that I can breathe.
Yeah. how does your cat cope with life on the hard? She hated it. Hated it at first because she was used to having the full run of the boat when we were at anchor. And she had done swim tests, so we know that if she went overboard, she could get to our ladder or a net and climb back up.
She loves being on the water. I mean, that's what she knows.
Loves being on the water, loves watching the birds, loves watching the reflection of herself, fish if she can see them. And so it was a really hard transition for her to go to land, but I think it's starting to grow on her. When she wakes up in the morning, she's still just crying to be let out of the companion. When we put her on her harness, put her on her leash, there's a line of trees right behind us and like a kind of like a clearing under a palm tree. So she just hangs out there all day and watches the birds and tries to attack lizards. So I think she's doing a lot better, but I'm sure she does miss life on the water.
Yeah, she's going to be very, very happy when we get to cast off again. Whenever we do bring her to boats that are actually in the water, she is in heaven. Absolutely heaven.
She'll jump on any boat in the water, whether it's ours or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you live around all the construction? It is surprising what you can become accustomed to if you have to do it for long enough.
It's the saddest thing what we've become accustomed to. Where we'll just you just step over things. You don't even think about it anymore.
There are periods where like our sitting space in our forward study area was about this wide for both of us, and that's all you have. That's what you get used to, and luckily everything's just been getting better.
For the first year, we had no overhead lights. We had to use just a regular little year and a half, maybe. We had no galley for 6 months, so we had to cook every meal down below or down at the patio area. It was an absolute struggle. Now it's becoming more livable, but it's everything is in the way, and that's the reason why there hasn't been interior shots, because it is mass chaos.
Mess in there.
But
it's going to make our boat feel 3 times bigger when it's finished.
Yeah,
we're just going to look
stepping
around,
over cords and all that kind of stuff.
Say, wow, like look, I can actually walk through this hallway.
But it's amazing. We, for 8 months, no more than that, probably a year and a half, we had stepping down from the pilot house area, the deck salon area, down into past the head into the galley area. There was a hole into the bilge, probably a 2 foot by maybe a 1.5 foot hole that dropped down into the bilge 2 feet. We stepped over it every single day, never had an issue with it, never a problem.
No one ever went in the bilge.
No one ever fell into the bilge, but it was this big gaping hole in there. And amazing that you just learn to deal with it. And then once we put a floor in the place, it's we use the stair, we step right on it, and didn't even get a second thought.
Yeah, you become accustomed to it. It sucks for a little bit, and there's a few days you want to pull your hair out, and then after that you just say, this is my life.
Yeah, we're typically pretty good at adapting to things.
Weeks at sea. Yeah,
we flow fairly well from one thing to another, so that's how we're able to adapt, is just the fact that we're adaptable. We're adaptable. Yeah.
I think we're down to the boat. Okay, this is a question that has been answered a few times before, but it does come up because of all the new viewers. Why an aluminum boat?
I wanted, especially when we got to the Azores, just about every boat in the Azores, just about every boat was aluminum or metal, steel, and a lot of them were heading north into places that I wanted to go. The Mediterranean didn't really sound too exciting for me. I wanted to go up to Norway and the Northern Europe area is what I wanted to see. And we figured for the snow and ice and the just the strength of the vessel, metal made sense to us. And I always like the looks of them too. I like, to be honest with you, some of it is the looks, the utilitarian, the pickup truck look to it.
Even though I don't like pickup trucks.
Even though I don't like pickup trucks, but the utilitarian, just that work type vessel look.
Which is also why we're not going to make this too pretty. We're going to make it pretty enough, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's
we want it to look like a work boat. Just rugged is what like the looks of that. So that was consideration. The other thing too is a fiberglass vessel. Over time, things start moving a little bit because they flex, just inherent with the design of it. Where a metal structure typically is a fairly rigid item, rigid hull, everything, and it feels nice and comfy at sea when nothing's flexing, nothing's moving, nothing's making any sound, because it's just solid.
So that's why we have the metal boat.
That's why, you know,
Plus,
we talked about.
Never had one before. So
we never had one before. I wanted to try it again, so that was something new. I wanted to give it a shot. And I'm a fiberglass person. I love working with fiberglass. I love building stuff out of fiberglass, so it's kind of odd for me, since I don't weld either, to want a metal boat, since I can't do anything to change it when I can on a fiberglass boat. But it's just, you step on the deck and it's just a solid feel that you don't get normally. It's a very cool feeling. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then basically based from our last video, this question came up probably about 6 times, and that is, why are you using a tiller instead of a wheel? And that is because, well, we don't mind the feel of a tiller, A.
Well, yeah, we like the reliability of a tiller. There's nothing really to it. This boat, the rudder, it's a transom-mounted rudder, which is perfect application for a tiller, period. Actually, the rudder head has a massive setup for a tiller already. And the other thing too is it's a fairly narrow cockpit, so having the pedestal in the way, having the wheel in the way, just breaks everything up, and it takes up too much space. And again, we don't steer.
We don't steer much. We're under autopilot or some kind of self-steering.
No, I'm horrible at steering.
He cannot pay attention to
can't
anything.
Pay attention.
He's almost run us around so many times.
Yeah, I'm not a helmsman at all. So it's one of those we're much more comfortable under autopilot. So we invest in a good autopilot. We do plan on having that on. It's a hydraulic autopilot, which we'll show later on.
And we've also got a wind vane.
We've also got a Cape Horn wind vane, so that's our redundancy that we have for both of those set up. The big benefit for me and for you, I'm sure, with the tiller is the fact that we can flip it up out of the way and just have
a lot of living space.
A lot of living space. Now, this isn't like a new Beneteau or something like that where you got a ton of space, but for us, coming from what we had before, this is quite a roomy cockpit for us.
And we hope to use it more.
Yeah, hopefully we'll use it a little bit more than we did in the last boat.
Okay. What will the interior look like?
Okay. Yeah, we went with a traditional yacht interior is what the design is. Not saying the quality is, but the look is a traditional. Actually, it's more of a Dutch yacht interior design, something that Hoek and Dijkstra do with their boats. And it's something that I've always liked. It's just a kind of a rich interior. It's still light and airy, but you're able to use good solid wood. If you're familiar with the kitchen cabinets, it's a shaker design is all it is. It's a simple tongue and groove design, something that we like just because of the fact it's a clean look to it, but it still has solid wood to it. It's not something that's just plywood with some trim around it. It's something a little bit more substantial looking. The nice part about it is because of the tongue and groove, you're able to use a light plywood, so a 1/4 inch plywood on the interior part of it, which we've shown in previous videos what it looks like.
In the blog too.
In the blog. But you're able to still get that strength, but you lessen the weight of it. So it ends up being, when I weighed it out, for a comparable 1/2 inch plywood to the shaker design that we're doing with it's a 1x3 is what we're actually using for the hardwood part around the outside, and then 1/4 inch plywood for the in part of the tongue and groove. It ends up weighing basically the same as what a veneered 1/2 inch piece of plywood, so you get a better look, to what I think is a better look, and you're basically keeping the same weight.
And in the description of this video, I'll make sure to link to our blog posts of how we design and put together a few of those. I'll try and link to as many questions that relate to things that we've covered in the blog but not in videos, because I know a lot of people just started on the videos, so hopefully that will help answer a few steps of like boat planning too.
Yeah. And this is definitely not a how-to type
no,
thing.
We're not a how-to. This is just how we did it.
How we did it. So can't stress that.
This is how
enough.
Matt and Jessica build a boat.
Yeah, this is how we do it. So it's take it for what it's worth. What you paid for it.
We've got the sun setting on us in just a second, so we're going to do one last question, which is, what are your future travel plans? We want to keep doing this for as long as we can, but I think we have a good 4-year plan set out that we're trying to achieve, and it is to get to the Arctic Circle or Spitsbergen maybe if we can, but we can't do it right away because of the seasons. When you're doing an Atlantic crossing going east, the best time to do it is May to June, and who knows, we might just be going in the water then, so we're definitely not going to cross an ocean on a boat that we've never sailed, that we just rebuilt. So we're actually going to head...
And we don't have the money anyway.
We don't have the money.
So
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, good, yeah. We got to work.
The plan is we are going to get the boat in the water at the beginning of hurricane season. We're just going into it, spend a month or 2 in the Bahamas as just a sea trial, figuring out
shakedown
how
basically
things work.
to see. The boat is new. I mean, it is, besides the hull and the engine, the mast, pretty much everything is new on there. We make the joke, we kept a bilge pump switch,
and a bulkhead.
We kept half of a bulkhead, we kept the stove, and I think that is truly it. Everything else is brand new, so we don't know exactly how everything's interacting with each other yet until we get out there.
So we figure a couple months in the Bahamas, easy island jumping will be a great way, and then when hurricane season really sets in, we'll hightail it back to the U.S. Unknown destination right now. We haven't planned it yet, and we probably won't until we're on our way back. So we'll wait out the rest of the hurricane season while finishing projects, fixing any issues we've noticed from our shakedown.
Living as cheaply as possible outside the marina.
Yep, because we won't be working yet.
Yeah.
And then once we kind of have the okay that hurricane season is over, we're going to, and we haven't planned out how we're going to do the jump, but get down to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Most likely what we'll do is we'll jump straight out.
I-65.
I-65, basically jump straight out, and then you hook south. Once you get way out there, right
Keep
when you
going
get
until you hit...
basically, so you're straight north of the U.S. Virgin Islands, then you turn south and ride it straight down. Just the direct route, it's faster, it's just a better route for us.
So once we hit the Virgin Islands in late fall, we're going to be looking for jobs to build back up our kitty, which we've just emptied on this boat in this marina.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw like a lake on. From there, we will work until the next season that we can cross the Atlantic, and then probably in June of 2018 we will leave for the Azores, spend maybe 3 months there until our Schengen visa runs out, jump up to the UK.
Yeah. We'll winter over in the UK because of course you're not going to go up in the North Sea area in winter, so we'll winter over in the UK. We may find some employment there as well, and then waiting tables, whatever. And then what the plan is for the first season in 2019, we'll end up doing Norway, going up that direction, then probably head back and do Scotland. Winter over again in the UK, and depending on how things are going, I really want to see the Baltic area.
If the budget allows, we'll spend another season in that area in the Baltics.
If we're able to get work visas and work in England. Then what we'll end up doing is we'll do Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Finland. I would like to do Russia, St. Petersburg area. And then from there, then it's going to be a run down
probably to, well, eventually the Canary Islands, Cape Verdes. And before we had talked about jumping back to the Caribbean, but if we're into it and if it allows, I think we're going to go to St. Helena and then Brazil.
Yep, and then Brazil, and then from there down to Argentina.
Around Cape Horn.
Around Cape Horn is what the plan is.
And the Chilean channels.
Yep, and then we'll see what it is at that point.
That's as far as our plan goes.
Yeah, so it's if we're there, we may end up just jumping back across to Africa, then back across to the Caribbean and do that, or we may end up going up the west coast of Chile, that direction out towards Hawaii then, and back to the west coast of the US or something. Again, it's
way too far out to decide.
Way too far out, and if our parents are watching, they understand that if we say we're going to go someplace, we end up in a completely different continent usually.
But that is what we have set out. So as soon as we get in the water, we hope you'll join us for all of these adventures.
Yeah, they'll be a little bit more exciting than what it is so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope this answers some more questions. If you ever have any more, feel free to comment on YouTube, send us emails. I know I take a little time on those. But let us know and we will definitely get back to you. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll get in the water soon and start making these travels possible.